you're not allowed to see those is they can dial right into my phone right now with it turned off and listen to everything I'm doing. Those, it's because what those trucks are doing is illegal.
And they've also got a new ruling coming out pretty soon that all personal cell phones can't be in the vehicle. You'll be actually discharged for having your own personal. We have a new FM frequency radios that are being put out that will be on a new frequency that we have to be trained on.
That's right. They're making you get rid of your local codes and making you go to the new federal board code, correct? The Homeland Security Code.
Yes. And also what's been happening in my department is a lot of us are listeners, and we'll make comments like, oh, it looks like Alex Jones is telling the truth. And we've been warned about even listening to it on duty, listening to your show. Having the apps on our iPhones is reason for a problem, if we even have your app on our phones.
But again, everybody's got to stand against this or it's all over. I mean, telling you that you can't have my radio app on your phone, again, it's pure intimidation. And if anybody ever starts self-censoring, it's over. They're going to win. You see, here's the deal. They're committed. If they don't get away with this, they're all going to jail. And we can beat them. Our ancestors beat them. They hate us more than anybody. And we can beat these people. The fact that you're saying a lot of people in your department are awake, that is great news. So what, like in the morning briefing, they say, by the way, I know some of you are listening to Alex Jones, better not do that. I've had countless police tell me that, and military.
And we've also had them show the apps and state that these apps are on our phones. It's reason for disciplinary action.
But listen, look how dumb the New World Order is. What do you think them doing that makes all the cops do when they get home at night?
Listen more.
Stay there. I got to talk to you some more on the other side. Listen, this is happening over a decade ago. They would catch a Marine with one of my videos because it had the Marines doing gun confiscation drills in it. And then they would get them all in there and say, you'll get in trouble. And then everybody wanted one. I was queuing up a video during the break of the Secretary of Defense and top generals telling the Congress that no, the NATO tells them to go to war, and they might want to talk to Congress, but they don't need Congress's approval. And Obama's put out official letters actually saying the UN gives the orders. And then it just clicked. I was looking at Dempsey, and I thought about how the last three chairmen of the Joint Chiefs of Staff have basically been run out or resigned, and how Fox Fallon, the head of CENTCOM, basically got run out when he refused to launch an attack on Iran. And it just made me think, you understand, we'd already be in the New World Order if it wasn't for all the people in the military. Even at the chairman, Joint Chiefs of Staff level, they had to go through 3 guys to finally get Dempsey in there who'll do whatever he's told, including follow illegal orders. So again, evil is not all powerful, but we have to learn to say no. And let me tell you, that is extremely evil in America to tell police on their private phones that they better not listen to the Alex Jones show. I mean, what is this, North Korea? I mean, is this North Korea? See, they don't want you listening because I'm going to play clips of C-SPAN. You know, they're pulling the C-SPAN clips of Janet Napolitano's press conferences 2.5 years ago, admitting they were running Fast and Furious, which proves she was lying. Look, we're not a radical broadcast. We're radical in that we've got radical criminals that have taken over, and they're saying we're radical. There's nothing radical about this show. If Thomas Jefferson teleported back here today and heard this show, he'd say, that's freedom, and the government's evil. So if you don't like this show, you don't like America. It's a very elementary thing. And I don't want to go off into a rant here, but going back to David in Washington and Tony, who's a firefighter, and then we'll stop there, go to a guest, and then have TSA whistleblowers on the last 30 minutes of the next hour. Finish up any other points you have, but I'd like to ask you, where do they think they're getting off telling you can't have syndicated radio shows? I mean, I'm not bragging, but I've been in Rolling Stone, Nightline, and we're on XM. I mean, it's not like they're saying you can't have the Aryan nations on your phone. And again, I would say that'd be bad to have it on your phone, but that's still your First Amendment as well. Maybe you want to monitor what they're saying. I mean, the idea that they're telling you better not listen to Alex Jones, your comments on that?
Well, you know, it was taken as, you know, personal infringement, what we do on our off time, and, you know, what outlets we're going to decide to listen to should be a free choice. And we have a terminology called Jonesin. There's a guy that's going to become a Jonesin, and it's always derogatory. The most frightening thing that's come out recently, we haven't seen it yet, and we had a Jones conversation about a new detention collar, or they're calling it the detainee collar, which is the shock collars that you've been talking about. And the people that have seen them were very frightened by them because all the different sizes they're in. They're into adult sizes, even sizes that look like it fit children, and people were very freaked out about this. We haven't seen them yet. We are being told they're coming out, and we're going to keep at least 100 of them per vehicle. So that's actually something very recent we haven't seen. But hold
on. Shock collars? Because I know about TSA wanting everybody who flies to wear a shock bracelet. They're telling you guys about shock collars?
Yeah, they're going to go across. They're going to go around the neck, and they're calling it the detention collar. But it's actually going to be a taser type device that if you once it's
but I'll tell you what's 100 times scarier, because I've seen these. I know they're developing them. You're telling me 100 per car?
I've seen them. They're not just in adult sizes. They're definitely made like dog collars for all different sizes, down from small down up to large.
Well, that's it. That is how you'd control people. Is you'd get them, put them in handcuffs, and put a shock collar on them, and then that's right out of the running, man. Oh my God, it never ends. I'm laughing, folks, because this is so sad. I'm laughing because it's crazy. It's crazy. Deborah Tavares, expert, a researcher into the whole smart growth, smart meter garbage that the CIA director admits they're spying on us with in a press conference 2 months ago, is going to be joining us via video Skype if you're watching at prisonplanet.tv, coming up in the next segment. And then I'm going to open up the last 20 minutes or so. In fact, we'll get the number out before then, after we clear the lines here in a moment, to have TSA whistleblowers on, because there have been TSA whistleblowers about cancer increasing with the naked body scanners, especially where they've had them for 8 years at 5 airports where they beta tested them. And here's the headline: TSA wants spyware to screen employees' digital activities for leaks. And that's what the police officer was just talking about, where they're told, do not listen to Alex Jones. Basically, you are in North Korea. That's what that's saying. Just outrageous. 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 What are they so afraid of? That we'll explain that criminals have hijacked America? I mean, now they're saying it on CNBC. Oh, foreign banks took over. Oh, but we're lucky they took over. And again, if it was just some foreign dominant group, but they wanted a free market and stuff and freedom, I would be upset about it, but it wouldn't be life or death. These New World Order people, folks, are bad. So bad, the word bad doesn't do it. Let's go to Tony, a firefighter, listening in Missouri, where they're training for martial law and cordoning and locking down the city. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, how you doing, Alex?
Good.
Yeah, I'm a firefighter in St. Louis County. I'm in firefighter actually in one of the predominantly black areas. And we've been pretty much told that we need to start training in MCIs, which are mass casualty incidents, and we need to start upping our hazmat training and weapons of mass destruction training. Now, we couldn't figure out exactly why, because we've been doing the requirement, but as of late, we've been told we need to start doing more of that training. And we've had residents with all the training going on the streets with the military asking us what's going on. And we're like, well,
you understand, they always introduce it as hazmat training. Later, it becomes checkpoints, because I've seen this for 15 years unfold. But now it's again ramped up probably 15 times what it was in, say, 1999. They only do that so you see the military the first time it's hazmat. The next time it's a drill. The next time the military's providing security. The next time the military's running checkpoints. The next time the military's taking you to the police station. That's now beginning. So just watch it as it rolls out in those phases. Go ahead.
And you're exactly right. Our department has actually been handing out copies of the Constitution and Bill of Rights as of late to people under the table, so nobody knows we're doing it. And we've been telling people to start stockpiling ammunition and weapons to defend themselves, because we know something's coming down the road. What? We don't know. We haven't been told much.
Well, let me tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be a collapse of society slowly, with some implosions downward, but a general slide. And then it's going to be terror attacks launched against federal, state, and local facilities to be blamed on people like myself. And because That's the MO. That's what they've done before. That's what they're getting ready for. They're going to start a civil war and try to get, just like the globalists got caught, this is even London Guardian, British intelligence, got caught dressed up as Shiites killing Sunnis. Or no, Sunnis killing Shiites in Basra. They plan to get us killing each other. That's the plan.
And you're absolutely correct, and thanks for allowing me on your show, Alex. You keep up the good work.
Thank you. I appreciate your call. Look, the globalists are a tiny group. They've got to put out a narrative, a false narrative, so people will go along with what they're doing. How do you get America to destroy itself? You get a civil war going between the police and the military and the people. And the John Warren Defense Authorization Act of 2007 says they'll use the feds on the states. Well, what did they say when Texas passed a law in the House saying no TSA groping? They said, okay, military blockade of your state. That's the default.
When you're out on the road.
Well, Deborah Tavares is an activist, smart meter expert, and land developer of residential construction in a family-operated business for over 30 years, and her work has been in American Free Press, many other publications. She's a frequent guest of Dr. Stan Monteith, who's sent her highly recommended. And she's also been on international television for her coverage of Bohemian Grove, issues like depopulation, and this will undoubtedly be one of the first of many interviews we do with her. When she leaves us in about 30 minutes, though, we're going to open the phones up. In fact, we're going to give the number out now for TSA whistleblowers only, because it's been in a bunch of newspapers that the Transportation Security Administration is shopping for a computer program to snoop into the online activities of agency employees, keeping track of their keystrokes and emails for signs of potential leaks, procurement document release, and things like that. So it's all part of trying to stop leaks coming out of the different criminal activities engaged in. So if the TSA would like to whistleblow, we'd love to hear from you. Because we know a lot of you are people that got into it, and now it's your job, and you don't like what's happening. The toll-free number to join us is 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. We'll get you lined up. You can just call in early if you want. If not, call in later, but we're leaving the phones open for you. Now, Deborah Tavares is an activist, as I just mentioned, a lot of great research, and she joins us to break down some of the research that she's engaged in. But, I mean, if you go back 6-7 years ago when they were first trying to use taxpayer money to put them in California and other areas, it was, oh, don't worry, we won't control your thermostat. We're not going to spy on you. And industry insiders were going, no. This can gauge all your electrical use, and there's switches in all the new appliances that communicate with data down power line, and they're also wireless, and it's going to snoop on you. Well, now they admit it and said, oh, we are going to control what goes on in your house. We are going to control how and where you can set it. So beyond 1984, the CIA section chief, well, now he's the head of the CIA, Petraeus, came out and said, yeah, we're watching you. All the new appliances have chips in them. The headline in Wired magazine was, your washing machine is listening and watching you. I mean, this is what's happening. And so, Deborah, great to have you on with us today. Of course, you can go to refusesmartmeters.com. Or some of the other sites to find out more. Tell us how you woke up to this. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing.
Well, hi, Alex. Yes, thank you so much for having me on. We're in an alert emergency state because what we have right now, and I'm holding up